what is the profile now of Jackson State football for the next head football coach?
I talked about the Jack State defense, and you coined the phrase, and Dennis Thurman, I trust. And Dennis Thurman, we trust. I say the same thing about Ashley Robinson, and Ashley Robinson, I trust. And Ashley Robinson, we trust. I think our athletic director is capable of making a sound decision. I think he has an open door policy to recommendations and ideas. And I know that there are some names floating around out there. But Chuck, if you ask me the direction that we should go for right now, I don't know where we should go 3, 4, 5, 6 years down the road. But if you ask me where we should go right now, it's in-house with T.C. Taylor. T.C. Taylor is a Jackson State guy. He has cut his teeth, whether it's in high school ranks or coaching in the college ranks. Pretty familiar with an opponent that we're about to play, actually. He's coached up and down the East Coast and offensive genius. Remember, he was offensive coordinator a while for that season last year with the SWAC championship. And TC was groomed to be head coach of Jackson State. And I think he is a prime, no pun intended, for that position right now. And here's the beauty of going with a TC Taylor. We cheered last year, that spring season, when a guy like Aubrey Miller in the transfer portal grad comes here. We cheered when a Niles Gaddy left Tennessee and comes here. That door swings the other way.
It does.
And one thing about the guys who are with us right now, for them to know that this program is going to have stability in the culture that Coach Prime has instilled in them, it will send a large message. Stay here. Stay. Yeah. If we go with another person on the outside, I just say to Tiger Nation, as much as I trust Ashley Robinson in his decision making, should we do that? I think we need to be patient the first season, maybe even patient the next season, because it's going to be a hard reset. You can bring in a TC Taylor. We go 9-2 next year, and we right back to the SWAC championship because we keep some of that talent because they know the culture is going to stay the same. You bring in a new guy, you're going to have an exodus. You're going to have some recruiting challenges. You're going to have some people got to see it before they believe it and buy in. And, man, hell, we might go 2-9. So, Tiger Nation, just pick what you want to be next year, and that'll tell you which way you should go. Now, where we're going to be 10 years from now, we can deal with that. But if you're talking about the here and now, man, T.C. Taylor is the man for this job.
T.C. Taylor is the man for this job. He has paid his dues. Let's take a look. T.C. got some footage of him talking to the team today. Pitch perfect tone, the brand, the block, that's what matters. He put it out there for us, Neil.
Yeah, and like you said, man, you cannot bullshit your way to 12-0. You cannot do it. It is hard to go undefeated, man. It is hard to hold people to 10 points or lesser game. It's hard to take a conference rival and hold them to 0 points while you score 35. These things ain't easy. And T.C. Taylor, I think, man, just in my personal opinion, I know that the process has to unfold. I know that, the athletic department and Ashley Robinson are looking at folks and talking to folks. But T.C. Taylor, in my opinion, being a Jackson State guy, understands that rich history and culture. Being a guy who's been on this staff the past 3 years, understand this new direction and the foundation has been built on how to recruit and go after these Power Fives and what to do to get them here and to manage them and get to a team to jail, even how to build a staff. Because remember this, folks, this. Before Coach Prime got here, it was Coach O and T.C. Taylor holding the reins together until Coach Prime's staff was developed. So they know how to build a staff and how to get these interlocking pieces to work together. And so I think that if you look at the best of both worlds, that T.C. Taylor's right to go. But Chuck, let me address something because I know what's out there, and I get it. Oh man, we just had Coach Prime. We need a big name. We need a big name. We got to make a big splash. Here's why I want to caution y'all. I want to caution y'all. Deion Sanders ain't just a big name. He actually had the acumen and can do a big job. When you look at these big name hires that have happened, how have they panned out so far? Eddie George is a big name, Tennessee State. How's that worked so far? Hugh over in Grambling, big name. How's that worked so far? So don't think that a big name is the answer because you saw what Deion Sanders do. What the answer is a guy that can recruit, train, and coach young men at a championship level with a high level expectation, with the respect for this culture and knowing what this blueprint is like, the one that existed before Prime and the one with Prime. And I think, Chuck, as it relates to keeping intact what we have going, in-house player-wise and recruits, because some of those recruits haven't pulled back yet. They're waiting to see who's going to be coach. And when they see this is a coach that worked with Prime, they know that the tone and tenor is going to be the same. Man, TC has what it takes to get it done, man. He really does.
Yeah, I stand in complete agreement. When you talk about somebody who loves Jackson State, who bleeds Jackson State, who is a Jackson State guy, and beyond that, he's beyond ready for this mantle, if you will, that is Jackson State's head coaching job. But we'll see how the chips fall where they may. But
Chuck, I'm gonna throw one more log on the fire. We saw what happened last year, right after I think it was the Tennessee State game, somewhere in there, all the way through the end of the season. That was T.C. Taylor calling that offense. That was him installing that offense. That was his offense. Even now in this era, you know, coaching the receivers, you see Shedeur Sanders go by and talk to T.C. Taylor for some counseling on certain plays and what to look for. You see him involved in other meetings that Coach Prime wants him in on. And so just that tutelage and growth that's happened the past 3 years, when keep in mind, 3 years ago, hell, he was ready then. How can he not be ready now? Do you think his skills have eroded under Coach Prime? Absolutely not.
Correct. No doubt about it, man. I could not agree with you more when you take a look at the big word, continuity. Continuity with regards to keeping this program going. And, you know, Jackson State fan base is a hard fan base, but this man has the shoulders to take it on. So we look forward.
And I want us to be mature in our thinking. I know that there are people out there that they got a problem with Coach Prime. There are people of influence that have a problem with Coach Prime. Whether they are working at Jackson State or they are boosters or friends of programs, what have you. I ain't stupid, Chuck. I know that there are people that don't like Deion Sanders that have influence at Jackson State. I want to offer you this. Just because a Deion Sanders or even a Neely thinks TC should be the guy, and you mad at me or Prime, and you don't want to do what we recommended because you mad at us, don't do that. Be mature in your leadership and thinking. Make the right decision for this program, this fan base, and what we have going. Don't try to stick it to Prime on the way out the door because he thinks TC should be coach. I ain't gonna do it because that's what he wants. Let's not be immature as a fan base, as alums, as supporters, as administrators, whatever hat you wear in this process. We all come together as Tiger Nation. Let's make the right decision, an informed decision, and not make petty decisions. And we're going to all live with decision and get behind the 22nd head coach so we can get us another championship and another one after that.